Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name is Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today, we're going to do our daily technical analysis update like we normally do. I'm going to interject my financial opinions as we go. And if you need help with anything in this commodity bull market, check out finding-value.com. That's where I go into individual companies, individual sectors, kind of dive in and see what the best options are for whatever particular outcome you are looking for. So there's a lot of leverage plays. You can get a lot of upside potential in some of the picks. And that's kind of where I'm trying to tread the line is that risk reward. What are the best risk reward companies that we can enter for this commodity bull market to play exactly what's playing out right in front of our eyes? We still have a coupon code LEAP, LEAP, if you'd like to try it. 50% off the first month for the monthly membership. It's only the first month that we get 50% off, or you get a bigger discount on the yearly membership. And if anyone wants to go to the yearly membership, they can use that discount code if you're already a member. All right, let's dive in here. Let's see what's going on. I had gold up there. DXY, we'll start with the DXY. So slightly lower in the DXY today, but it still looks good to go higher. I call that the bloody nose. Still looks good to continue its way higher with this broken down trend line. Looking at the 2-year yield. 2-year yield also slightly lower, but still looks good to go higher and try to break out this resistance level. To me, it kind of looks almost like a shoulder, a head, and then a shoulder that is developed where we could potentially break to the upside. That would put pressure on the dollar to move up. And I think the driver of this is going to be inflation and potentially the price of oil. And if we have any sort of supply disruptions or supply is not keeping up with demand, that is further pressure for oil prices to go up and further pressure on yields to go up. The 10-year yield, which is a little bit further out, we were up today and we gapped up above this resistance level. We very well could pull back before heading on higher, but that's what it's looking like. And right now, I think that we will eventually grind higher until, well, not until, I think we're going to grind higher. 30-year yield also higher. We do have a little bit of a wick at the top. That's what making me think we might do a little bit of a pullback before heading higher again. But this looks good to continue its way on up at this time. TYX, TNX, the ratio I look at, we were up a little bit, but basically flat. Basically flat. Again, we have an inverted yield curve. These circles are where I would buy gold. And I think this will eventually go up. But we are inverted, and we could stay inverted for a while. Bond prices heading lower with those yields going up. So we are coming back down. The momentum did shift throughout the day back upwards. So we could see maybe a retest like that or something like that. So yields could pull back, bond prices could go up and do kind of a retest. And then the 2 and 10, we uninverted today, actually inverted a decent amount, and we are still inverted in its entirety quite substantially. If this falls, generally it is rocket fuel for precious metals. So gold just ripping it today, up $41 an ounce. We have, this is kind of how it played out. We have the highs here. We were up at the highs trying to break out of this, and then we broke right there. There's your break. You should have bought the break and been riding it this entire time to the upside. Silver up 4.5%, $26.20 is what I'm seeing right now. We are breaking through the trend line here, guys. Higher. Silver moves fast. So this looks absolutely excellent for a move higher, which could be fast and it could be substantial because silver generally, when you break through these resistance lines where it gets all basically jammed up against resistance, silver can really rip it. This one went from 1880 to $50 an ounce. Another one that ripped pretty good was from $6 to 41, or I think it went 50 intraday, but it was about lower 40s. I think that something like that is coming right now, and we're about to enter that. So I know some people have been asking me, why am I so bullish? This is right here, guys. This breakout right there is gonna get me pretty dang bullish. Platinum also up quite a bit today. We are up 2.7%, and I do think that this is going to work its way on up. It might work up slightly after silver rips it. Silver might be able to rip it first. The ratio will do a capitulation bottom for platinum, maybe, and platinum will rip right after that. So think of it as going through the real estate cycle. Yield curve inverts. We could see it uninvert potentially. And then when the inflation comes on the back end, whether they do stimulus, whether they do whatever, or maybe we don't even get a slowdown, maybe we already went through it. And money printing is coming, and that's what all of this is basically accounting for, is all that money printing that's going on now. And platinum would then move with all the other commodities along with crude oil. It has a high correlation with inflation assets. Palladium, this is the one that's left out generally, but it went sideways, up $3 an ounce. I still think it looks good. We're sitting on top of support. I think it looks good down here. But, I don't think we're going to get the big move. I think we're going to go sideways for a while in palladium. So I think it's going to consolidate while the others rip it. This will probably be the one that I transfer into uh, because it goes counter to everything else. XAU to gold ratio, we did outperform a little bit today, up 0.25. Not a huge outperformance for the mining companies, but again, I'm watching for this downtrend line here for a break here, guys. We are getting real close. And I don't even know if I've got that drawn in perfectly. I mean, you could squeeze this up a little bit too, and it would be very, very close, in this general location there. So you could squeeze it up. We're getting close to a breakout here. CRB to, okay, this is just the CRB index. That's also going higher. Looks fantastic. Looks like it will continue. Really strong move in the CRB index here. And I think we're starting wave 3. And here's another thing to look at, guys. On our pullback, here's our pullback. It started here. We came back. We created a low. There's your low right there. We came up. We broke out. Here's your lower low. And this is your higher high now, because this is above this here. So we are in an uptrend for the CRB index. This is a new uptrend, and we have started wave 3. If we can close this week, basically where we're at or higher. CRB index to S&P 500. This is where things are going to start to get interesting. We are moving on up, and the commodity index is starting to outperform the S&P 500. I think that this is the beginning of what is going to be a very big move. And the CRB index breaking out of that pattern is what's giving me the confidence to say that. Also, a lot of the times you move up and then you get a retest basically back to this level here, which we just did. And a lot of commodities are doing that right now. And we'll go over it and I'll show you all the ones that are doing it. GDX working its way on up. We're still in this pattern here, and I'm going to squeeze it up a little bit. Now, I think I did this on a different time frame, but on this time frame, it would be somewhere around here because you've got wicks. They're not monthly closings. And if we can close up here, it would be a breakout on a monthly. But we still have a good chunk of this month left to go. If we go and we move in, you can see we've got a lot more closings in this general area around here. So I think if we get in the $34 range for GDX, it's probably a clear breakout on a weekly close basis. GDXJ is already breaking out. That looks fantastic. And again, a lot of people asking me, why do I feel the need to buy now? We are breaking out is the need. We are breaking out. We've got a bullish engulfing candlestick here. And yes, we could get a pullback. It is possible. But I generally like to buy and cost average in. Well, I'm already in it. So I do think this is going to work its way on up. SILJ also looking good. It's broken out of its falling wedge. We've got a nice big bullish engulfing. And we are working our way up. There we are, working our way up. It looks really good, really, really strong. Crude oil up 1.6%. We're breaking the top resistance level here. The next thing we want to do is we want to look left. So I'm going to just grab this, come across, and see where all of our resistance is. So it's mainly in here, and we've broken through that. That's that general area, and that's where we get a lot of trading, buyers and sellers in this area. And we wanted to break out of that area. We did. So this is looking really good for a potential move higher. And again, that does not mean every single day is higher. It just means that we are grinding our way up, much like this, and working our way on up. TTF gas down a little bit. We're still on this support level. We can even throw a support level down through here, and maybe we get support there. We'll find out. We've got natural gas in America, Henry Hub. I drew this in there, and I drew this a straight line here. Let me draw this more accurately. I would draw it like this, where we go up like this, and then we go up again. Now I'm running out of room to draw, but something along the lines of that, and it would probably mimic the little stop portion there. So natural gas doesn't look too bad. We were up a little bit. Our boy XOP, yeah, you know me, up 0.7%, looking good, feeling good, and we're above the neckline. We very well could get a retest. It is still possible, or a little bit of a pause. We can look to the left over here and see if there was a pause on the left-hand side. There was a little bit of a pause here. So maybe we can mirror this downward move, much like the upward move. But that's not guaranteed. It could rip, it could keep going, it could get a pullback, but we're breaking through the neckline. That's what's important. OIH up 1.43%, looking pretty good. This looks fantastic. It continues higher for energy service companies. That looks great. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust down a little bit, but looks good, guys. It's not a big selling pressure day. I think the momentum is still to the upside. Looks good. URA also looking quite good. I think that looks strong for a movement to the upside. I think URNM also looks very strong. We posted a 1.44% day today, and I think we could continue higher. When I say higher, I'm talking about the trend is higher. Not every single day, not like short-term market movement style. I'm just saying the trend is up. And URNJ also looks really good. It was going to be a small profit-taking day, and I would say it was so strong that these days actually ended up. So the momentum towards the end of the day is upward. See that trend? That's pretty good. It's a pretty good day in my opinion. Moving over to TAN. TAN was down, does not like the increasing interest rate environment, and we are still down there. With inflation, inflation hurts these commodity intensive operations. So solar is commodity intensive, so is wind. And if the inputs continue to go up, the companies don't like that because they make less money. Copper moving on up. Again, this looks good to continue higher. We've broken this little squeezing pattern, and I think we'll just drift our way on up. COPX is doing the same thing. We've broken out, and we will drift our way on higher. Now, the path, a lot of people say, well, maybe we get a pullback. I don't know. This looks pretty strong, guys. It's a lot of green candlesticks. Small selling pressure into a bullish engulfing. It looks good. Lithium working its way sideways. That looks good. Not too bad. There, it doesn't look good on the longer term. I think this probably has some time to maybe consolidate here. We've got REMX also consolidating lower down here. We have been consolidating. It doesn't look bad. It looks like it could go sideways or maybe slightly higher. We've got the S&P 500, which sold off today, down 0.72%. I have a feeling it doesn't like the increasing yields. Along with the NASDAQ as well, it is down today. And the momentum is coming back up, but it doesn't like the strong yields. So that's my guess. Now, it's not the end of the world here yet. I don't see gigantic selling pressure, but there is selling pressure through here, and we are losing momentum. KRE doesn't like the increasing interest rate environment. We did come back a little bit, but we are in a home building spree, and they're going to make money on those new loans they're giving out. Emerging markets doesn't like the yields and dollar strength, so just went sideways. Basically, we're up 0.32%. XHB doesn't like those yields going up, but it looks like it recovered a little bit throughout the day. That's why there's a little wick at the bottom. We have a little bit of support through here, so we'll see where that goes and what yields do. We could get relief in yields and then come back down again if yields were to come back on up. Moo down a little bit, but I think this is going to work its way on higher. This looks like a bottom to me that it's trying to put in right where we're at. We've broken the downtrend line, and we've got big buying pressure, small selling pressure that I look for. Iron ore up 1%. It's got a lot of momentum to the downside. It needs to work that momentum off. Just be patient. Nickel also trying to put in a bottom. Just be patient here. It'll bottom out. Give it some time. We've got aluminum up 1.4%. This one's been bottoming for a while, so I think that the path of least resistance for this is up for aluminum. Baltic Dry Index down a little bit. Yeah, we're going to work through iron ore, working its way. So give it some time down here. It'll probably base out. Newcastle coal up 0.75%. This looks like it's basing much like um, natural gas is. And if I were to kind of throw a little trend line on here, that's what we're trying to break right there. We can extend that all the way out. So I think somewhere in this range there, we've got a potential to break through that little downtrend line there. Bitcoin down 5.32%. Doesn't look too good on the weekly there. The daily, we got some strong selling pressure. Let's see if this actually continues, where this actually goes. We have a bearish engulfing here. We have one here. It's starting to get some selling pressure in a couple of these candlesticks, and sometimes that is the beginning of a potential turn lower. We also have Ethereum here. That's sold off. We had a nice big move down into this squeezing up, and then we've pulled back some. And that could continue. We'll watch it and see how much selling pressure and follow through there is. And we'll see if we actually get selling pressure in the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. And if rates continue to climb, I think that pressure will be persistent if rates continue to climb. We can also look at super microcomputers. That was down 2.63% today. And this could be a topping pattern of a shoulder head shoulder, which is an end of trend pattern. End of trend being the end of trend of this full trend. It could be. And then generally when you begin, this was the bottom here. So when I invest in these things, I try to buy somewhere in this bottom and add, and then ride it all the way up and try selling somewhere up here. Would I sell this in this particular location? If it was a commodity stock, I would probably slowly get out a little bit. Since this has control over the sales price of their products, this might be able to continue to go up if the demand is there for it. So I'm not stating that this one would necessarily, it doesn't have to crash like a commodity stock does at the end of a bull market. But again, we very well could be towards the end of a NASDAQ bull market. And we could see with interest rates going up, different pricing for a lot of these high growth companies. So that's what I've got for today, guys. Give me a thumb up for the content, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the website if you haven't already. Check it out if you like. We've got a uh, Sunday. It's a Sunday question and answer session coming up. I have a midweek update that I'm releasing tomorrow that you guys can see where I share my opinions. And that's all I've got for today, guys. So hopefully you had a good day. We'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.